What's going on with a bunch of crazed dogs?
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? And how about those Giants? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football 50 weeks of the year. And what do? We tell you what the players tell us. And the players have been telling us all along about this team is different. Shane Bowen is back. McFadden is healthy. Kerry K is healthy. McFadden told us, Kerry K is healthy. There's a different vibe. People in the locker room, on the field, off the field. Definitely fun. What did we score? 70 points, 60 plus points, in the last two games. Yes, it's preseason, but as Giants fans, gives you a lot to be excited about. We're going to definitely chop it up a little bit. And you know what? The greatest thing about having Giants Rush on Monday is we get to sit back and at least get a day to kind of analyze what happened. And, preseason sometimes, like you kind of, you dip your toe in the water a little bit because it's preseason, right? But we did get a chance to see a lot of stuff. And for me,
It's good to be the king.
that it is. Let's bring in Sean.
Miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
Bo, what's up?
Craig, what's going on, man? How we doing?
I'm doing good because it's probably the first preseason in a long time that we're actually win or loss. We're at least scoring points. It's like it's actually a game and it's competitive and there's some excitement. As I was saying a minute ago before I brought you on, is normally we get Monday we can review what's going on and we're lukewarm about preseason because guys are getting cut and who's the winners and who the losers are. Right now, it's good things, all good things to talk about. It's kind of rare.
Yeah, I know. It's nice. And the other good thing, dude, is, and we may get to this later, but scoring all these points in the preseasons means our 2s, 3s, and 4s are better than other teams' 2s, 3s, and 4s, which we have not had in how many years?
Yeah, a long time. In fact, I don't want to steal the man's thunder, but Chris, our co-host, Rosa, we call him Nails. You guys call him Carb Crush. He literally said to me an hour ago, this is the best / deepest roster we've had in 10 years. So, it's just, as Sean just alluded to, normally second and third teams just aren't this well-rounded.
No.
Right?
Not for us, no.
No. James Green in the house. What's up, James Green? Good to see you here.
La biblioteca.
Yeah. And Spartan Mike's off today because you know what? Because Spartan Mike's, fragile. He gets overworked and overloaded and he can't think straight. So we got to give him some time off to make sure he's got some tests he has to pass. And so he's studying up, Mr. Green. He is at home studying up for some banking, from what I understand, some banking certifications that need to happen. So me and Joker are flying solo. Alex should be here, but we don't know where Alex is. So, but you only need me and Sean. That's all you need.
Pretty much. I mean, the others are great. Don't get me wrong, but it's just us.
We're real good.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, look, I've been doing this a long time. I'm excited about for the Giants football for the first time in quite some time. Yes, no rest for the wicked, James Green. You have said that very well. And James Green, if you are a Spartan Mike fan, if you don't know this already, Spartan Mike, he always hosts our fantasy football league. It's called the Ballers League. We're in year 3. I've got 3 slots left to close it out. So, Jim, if you're not playing fantasy football, go to nygiantsrush.com right now and sign up for fantasy football. Get involved with the Ballers League. And I've said this to you before, Sean.
Yeah.
Do we give away good prizes?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you what we gave away?
I want you to tell me do you remember what we gave away in year 1?
I do. It was the Amani Turner signed autograph jersey.
It was. What did we give away in year 2?
Year 2, we gave away Hakeem Nicks autograph signed jersey.
Yes. So we're giving away good stuff. Year 3, it's going to be a surprise. But I did unveil last week on the show the all-in Super Bowl poster from 2011, which will be part of they are pretty sweet. Which will be involved. It'll be a pack, right? Because this year I'm gonna give away whoever makes the championship game. I'll give away a prize to the runner-up, and of course, the big package for the grand prize. So James Green, who's buds probably with Spartan. What's up, Mr. Thompson? What's going on?
What up, Mark?
We're just talking about a little bit about fantasy football. I got 3 slots open. If you're a fantasy person, jump in, nygiantsrush.com, look in the navigation bar, hit fantasy, register. It'll kick you out a receipt and a link, and then sign up and play. The draft is rapidly approaching. I think it's September 2nd. And please beat the pants off Spartan Mike, because he's really good, and I can't stand to listen to him all year how cocky he is about fantasy.
Just brags.
Yeah.
Nonstop bragging.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to beat him.
Somebody's got to beat him. Yeah. So we were very glad that Doug beat him last year. Joker Man, give me your thoughts. I don't know where you were when you were watching the game or what you thought, but at what point did it hit you this isn't the same Giants team as before?
The 80-yard bomb to Bo Collins. I mean, right off the rip, right? Like, when did we? And not only that, Craig, not only was it an 80-yard bomb, but it was not even his first read. It was his third read. He went through progressions and then found, because the safety made a mistake. I don't know what that safety was doing, but he found him and hit him. It was great. And it was like a tad bit didn't hit him in stride, but dude, that ball just dropped right in. Like, talk about a catchable ball. Like, holy cow. It's fantastic.
Let's take it a step
Big
further.
Screen. Like 85-inch screen I'm watching it on. So I had a great view of it.
Yeah. I didn't go to the game. I don't usually go to preseason. I know I probably should go to preseason, but I just driving the 2 hours to watch guys in the past anyway. This is how you learn lessons. This is how you learn lessons. I haven't gone to preseason in 10 years because the team's bad and the roster's full of these guys that don't make the team. So I struggle going to preseason. Now, I go to preseason only if we're going to do a show from the parking lot. And if you're from Florida, right, and Spartan's still in Michigan, I would be in the parking lot by myself. So I haven't gone to preseason. So I was watching the game, at home. And actually, I shouldn't say that. I watched a little bit from home, and then I watched the other half from the bar. Me and the wife made the trek out to we got a really cool place in town called Gold Burgers. They make unbelievable burgers, just unbelievable. So, and we take it over to a place called Kings Road, and they brew their own beer. And we watched the game. And the first thing that I noticed, Sean, is what you just said. Yes, right off the rip, throwing the 80-yard bomb. But who he threw it to is important. Yeah. Because you're talking about like the fourth, potential fifth string wide receiver, and he probably doesn't get a whole lot of reps with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And to see the starter who doesn't play a whole lot is in there playing preseason, and to see the fifth, the whatever he is, fifth on the depth chart wide receiver with a nice, a little bit of a real slight skinny post and just run by the safety for the catch. It was real nice to see of course for Russ, and it was real nice to see for Collins, that, because he's fighting for a roster spot. And I thought, you know what? Hey, that's pretty good chemistry for
Yeah.
two guys that don't play a lot together during the week.
Yeah, no, it was great. And again, he got a little bit of first team reps. And just that reminder, he was my guy to make the roster and the surprise that may take away reps from somebody else, Bo Collins. So that made me feel good too. Because he made me look good.
Yep, no doubt. What's up, Cold? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, so I was cool with that. And we talked a little bit about that last week. Like,
yeah.
And Mark Thompson jumped in on YouTube. Him and I were chatting back and forth on YouTube about I think it was YouTube, about them not carrying 8 wide receivers. And just to be clear, because I probably wasn't clear, you're counting like punt returners as wide receivers, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's really like you're carrying 6 wide receivers and 2 special teams guys, right?
Yeah.
Because like Gunner's a punt returner, kick returner. He's like 9th man on the depth chart, but he's still categorized as a receiver. So
yeah. And Smith Marset, that's the other guy who's categorized as wide receiver, but he's going to be mostly special teams. So
so I apologize, Mark, if I was not clear on that. So yeah, I can see 6 regular receivers and then 2 special teams guys. Who number 5 and 6 are going to be is going to be a battle.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down between Bo Collins and Montreal Washington in that A spot, if I did my math right. So those 2 guys, because they're both having really good camps. Now the surprise could be, is Hyatt in jeopardy? Is he in danger? Could it be a trade candidate? What could go on with him? Is his roster spot in jeopardy? Like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, you know what? Let me ask you. Let me turn this back to you. Let me answer your question with a question.
You're not supposed to do that, but you're the king, so you can do it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I might even have to just because you said that. I might just,
Yeah, I set you up. There you go.
It's good to be the king.
Exactly. So I'm going to turn it back to you and ask you. Just a couple questions, easy. How long has Jalin Hyatt been on the team?
This is what, year 3 now?
So year 3. And I got a lot of concussions in college, so maybe I'm forgetting something. Or as Cole would like to say, I hope Cole gets a good laugh out of this. I'm just old, so I might forget. But the question is, the receivers that we have right now are having a nice camp. Do we remember Hyatt having some studly camp, like where we like, this guy's a lock them, to start? Like, I feel like these younger guys that we have right now are they're having fun and making plays.
Yeah, I heard, I think early on, a couple people mentioned about Hyatt doing some good things in practice, but not nearly as of late. And he didn't do much in the game. He had a nice catch, I will say. That route he ran was a pretty good route. That's one of the better routes I've seen him run since he's been here. But the fact that he wasn't playing that much, I don't know if it's because they know what they have, or they trying to see some other guys and what they can do. It was kind of weird to me that he didn't play that much. So, I mean, they traded up. He's a 3rd round draft pick. I can't believe in year 3 that he would be cut, but stranger things have happened.
I just, and again, I'm having some fun with Cold in the comments. I just don't remember going like, man, Hyatt's having a really good camp. Wow, that was a really nice play. I mean, we've got again, turning it back to you. Doesn't matter. You're right, and he did have some injuries too, right?
Yeah.
Turning it back to you. Doesn't matter what order. I'm not looking for an order or depth chart. Outside of Slayton, Wandale, and Malik, who's wide receiver number 5?
Wow.
Again, not depth chart. Just give me a name that you think can make the team. Give me a name.
Bo Collins.
All right. Is Bo Collins right now playing better in camp than Hyatt did when he was drafted in camp?
I believe so.
Okay. Give me wide receiver number 5.
You mean 6?
Actually,
you know what? I'm going to give you a tie. I'm going to break the rules because I'm the Joker and I can do that. So
Fair
it's
enough.
going to be a tie between Lil Jordan Humphrey and Montreal Washington.
Yep, exactly. They're having a good camp where they're competing right against each other to make the team. I don't remember any of this happening with Hyatt. Now, Mark is always a student of the game. He says, taking out the special teams guys, he says Neighbors, Slayton, Robinson, Hyatt, Collins, and Smith Marset. Like, and again, it's a valid point. 100%.
Well, let me ask though, he's got Smith Marset. So Mark, are you saying he's going to run routes and be a receiver, or were you? Because I think he's just going to.
In that scenario,
I think he's just going to be. Because you're saying Gunner's not going to make it, or is Gunner somewhere else?
Because Gunner is considered a wide receiver. Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, and I'm going back and I'm kind of with Cole.
I'm curious to see how many they carried last year. How many receivers did they carry last year?
Well,
Gunner,
come
on, Mark, look it up.
Gunner got hurt, and he got shelved, right?
Right, and then Smith Marset took his spot. So, all right, Mark, that's your.
All right. So last year,
all right, Mark, you got to look up and let us know how many wide receivers they carried last year, including special teams. Go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
No, that's okay. On a truck. Oh, there they are. Okay, so now I got the. Can you see him? I just put the comments on the screen. Can you see him?
Yeah.
All right. And seriously, I mean, I am so lock and step with Cold on this. Like, how long do you give these guys, room to grow? I mean, yeah, he's got a bunch of, like Cold saying, like, all right, he won the Biletnikoff Award. Great. Third round pick is not popped. How long do we wait to a guy? This is like Daniel Jones all over again. Like, it's just not there. It's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, let guys, like you just said, let guys like Collins and it could be Humphrey. Let these guys play.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I mean, it's year 3, so it's hard to give up that quickly on a third round pick in year 3. Let's be realistic.
Not giving up on them, but man, these other guys, that was my point.
I get it.
Head to head, all 3 of them in the room, they're all playing better than he did.
Yes. Yeah. So
what do you do? Sometimes you got to cut a cat.
Yeah. I think you got to see if you can get some guys on the practice squad. So one of those two of Montreal and Bo they'll try to get them on the practice squad, because I don't think they're going to cut Hyatt. I don't know if they'll trade him. Again, I don't know what his I mean, from what I've heard, I think his attitude's been better this year. He's got a quarterback that he believes in. So it'll be interesting what they do. Like I said, I'm in agreement. I'm in complete agreement that the other guys are outperforming him, but he was a third round pick. He's only in year 3. So I don't know that you cut him right now.
This is so easy of a question, right? Here's a layup for you. Are you not bored yet of Jalin Hyatt? The cat doesn't do anything.
I'm not bored of him.
I'm bored.
I'm not bored of him.
I am so
year
excited.
3. Now, after this year, ask me again at the end of this year. That's a different story. But he's a third round pick. And I've said this before on here. I'm giving him a little more time because we knew he had to be developed because he wasn't a great route runner. So
no, but dude, that's what I just asked you. Whether it's
this is the year that he's got to show it. This is the year he's got to show it. He's got to show it early.
By Humphreys, and he's being outplayed by the only guy he's not outplaying is Juice Wells, and he was a UDFA. You know what I mean? Like Collins, Humphreys, they're just outplaying him. So why do we have to continue to wait for it? Like, that's one philosophy I don't understand. Like somebody was telling me about, like, not just you, but about how good Musa is playing. I'm like, but
he is.
It's not exactly, but he's not playing better than the starters, right? So but he needs to be part of the team. Hyatt is not outplaying anybody and doesn't need to be part of the team. Musau needs to be part of the team for multi reasons. He's not going to beat out Karake and McFadden, but if either one of them get hurt, he steps in and he plays and he knows the defense and he's a vital part of the team. Like, Jalin Hyatt is not a vital part of the team. We're not missing much. I don't know why people are so,
because you can't. I mean, my philosophy is this: if you're a third round pick, you can't give up that quickly on the dude. You can't get it because You gave up assets to get him too. And you knew drafting him that he was going to take a little bit to develop. And
Can we trade
his
him?
development,
Can I trade
his
him?
development was slowed. His development was slowed by what we had as quarterbacks the last couple of years. So that's part of it.
Can we
Now I
trade
do
him?
want to see. I mean, if you can get somebody good or something good for him, yeah, go for it.
All right.
But cutting him, that's a different story.
All right. You're right. I take back the cutting thing, but
Thank you.
I would definitely try to move him because he doesn't fit in this town. Let's move on to what we saw. Scored a ton of points back-to-back games. It's just the Jets, right? But it also was Buffalo, right? It was Buffalo, and it was the Jets, and we're scoring points, which we don't normally do. And the guy that's the most exciting is this guy that I've told you for 3 years is a stud, and now it's coming to fruition. His name is Jackson Dart, and I don't care about these dumb analytic benchmarks and stuff like that. He completed 13 passes in a row. I'm sorry. He's completed 13 passes in a row and then had a quarterback sneak for score.
Yeah. Now, a lot of those passes were screen passes, so let's put it in perspective.
There were 2 check downs. There was one speed
Which I don't
out.
care. Sometimes you got to check down as a quarterback. See, what I don't care about, like air yards and all this other crap. That did you run the offense? Did you drive the ball down the field? Did the offense move? Now, again, we got to keep in mind who he's playing against, and it's vanilla defense. They're not disguising coverages. They're not doing anything that might throw him off. But what you're seeing is he's going through his progressions. He's making the right decisions. So again, I said this, last week or 2 weeks ago, it's not about the results. It's about the process in the preseason. So I'm not saying he should not be starting week 1. There's nothing that says he should be starting week 1 because we haven't seen enough, but his progression is nice. He's on track. He's where he needs to be. And he's doing more than I thought he was going to be able to do. He's farther along than where I thought he would be at this point. And that's what you like to see. That's the important part. 100%. Don't look again. I don't care where his air dot, like A dot. That does not matter to me. I could care less because you know what Patrick Mahomes A dot was a couple of years ago and last year? Really bad. Yeah. Like really bad. So who cares? Are you scoring points? Are you moving the offense? And he ran that no huddle, the hurry up or whatever they were doing. He ran it really good, effectively, and he was in control. And that's what you want to see, right?
And I'll take it a step further. Like I said, like I'm a little bit of a junkie for it because like I was the first guy to tell you how bad his damn footwork is and how lazy he was in the pocket. Dude, his play action was spot on. Look, if you want to be junkies about it, let's just be junkies for a second about it.
Sure.
I'm telling you, one of the biggest gripes that I had with him, I've been watching, I don't know, I probably watched 80%, 75% of his games over the last 3 years, was he'd hand the ball off in the pocket and stand in the pocket like a statue. And it's like just bad footwork, not unathletic, just not knowing enough to continue to roll out of the pocket to potentially maybe grab a linebacker's eyes, into the backfield, right? Just lazy kind of play. His play action was spot on yesterday, and then they rolled out of the play action, and he hit, I think he hit Turbo Miller on the sideline for like an 8-yard first down, and it was purely because the footwork was great. His footwork is so much better than it was at Ole Miss. So whether that's Kafka or Dable, they're working with him.
Right.
Speed outs. Yes. Check downs. Yes. I don't know. There might've been a screen in there, a bubble screen maybe in there, but he had 2 really nice passes downfield. I mean, hitting the tight end, zipping it right through, 3 Jet players for a touchdown. He's running the offense. Again, he's a rookie, people, and he's running the offense proficiently, knows when to check down, running the smart play. Because again, he's known to be a gunslinger and try to throw the route that's not there. Yep. And he has not showed that.
Well, here's the thing about that pass to Dulcich. That's the same pass that when Dulcich ducked and didn't see it, they talked about it. They ran it again and they connected on it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that The other thing, he didn't go under center. So Dable and Kafka have him setting him up for success, doing what he's comfortable with. He's not running the same offense that Russell Wilson was running when he was in there. So that's what you want. Build the confidence, have him going, adjust the scheme to what works for him. So again, and listen, if James Hudson makes a better block, he's probably off to the house on that one scramble where he got tripped up because Hudson missed the block.
Shoelace or he's off to the races. Big thing is, again, I don't think you guys given enough credit to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's so perfect for him to learn because they got a lot of the same attributes, and he's going to teach him how to play in a big city. And because again, he's a young dude. Young dudes make mistakes. I don't think he's going to make a whole lot of mistakes with Russell Wilson hanging around. So,
and Jameis, listen, let's give Jameis credit too, because Dart wanted to learn under him. So I think that's a good one. So between the two of them, he's in a great situation. He really is
in a great situation. And by the way, like as part of me, and I'm not a Jameis guy. I'm from a player standpoint, like with the interception stuff. He's got a great arm. The decision making always kills me, but. And the other side of me is like, as you get to know him and you hear him with the press, and you're like, this guy's a really good cat. Wouldn't be terrible to maybe in somewhere, a quarter into the season, somebody's quarterback goes down and, somebody comes knocking for Jameis. You know what I mean? Like you never know that kind of stuff.
Unless you're getting like a high draft pick, you keep Jameis because he's going to be the backup next year if Russell's not around. So, I mean, I don't think you can do anything until the end of the year. Unless you get like a second round pick for him, or something like that.
He's too old,
right?
For that
right. But you can't take anything less than a 4, in my opinion, because we have a good quarterback room finally. Keep it that way.
And again, my whole premise is, I didn't say it should happen.
Yeah. I get it.
It could happen, right? Someone's knocking on the door because they realize the quarterback room is so good, and we have not had that in a long time. I'm not even if I'm not mistaken, Tyrod Taylor's hurt whatever team he's on, right? So now I'm pretty stoked about Jameson, and he could be cold. He could be out of here if an opportunity presents itself. But it's good for Dart. I think it's good for Russ. I think it's good for Jameis. They all seem to get along real well. And again, 13 passes in a row in preseason from a rookie is just not anything we've seen in a long time.
No, it's real nice. I put a tweet out the other day. We went from having no quarterbacks last year to now we have 3 quarterbacks. So,
yeah. This one is actually a good thing. So this is not a knock by any chance. I went to the beach yesterday, and a buddy of mine very sarcastically, sitting in the beach chair having a beer. And I don't know what he's doing, by the way. He leans over into a beach bag and he throws a towel at me. And I go, "What am I doing, Dad?" He says, put it in your lap. And I go, "Okay." So now I got the towel sitting on my lap. And he goes, "All right, you want to tell me about Abdul Carter?" And I look at him and I was dude, that's so wrong, man. And he looks at me, he goes, "It's okay, just keep the towel there." He's like, "So how awesome?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got we laughed about it for like 20 minutes, right? And I told him, I'm like, I have not seen a guy, that big, that fast, that strong in a long time.
Yeah.
And what I loved about the Jet game was, if you haven't seen the clip, he gets completely pancaked with a chip block from a tight end. Yep. And when he tries to get up, he's re-pancaked by the tackle. Yep. And not only was it textbook from the tight end and the tackle, and it's a welcome to the NFL moment.
Yep.
That's even more fuel for the fire for him. So he knows that this league is not easy. And, it's really good for a young cat to realize I still have things to learn.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was a humbling moment. I love the tweet that he put out about it, trash talking with the Jets. How many times, Craig, on this show have I said, we're too nice to our opponents? We don't have the rivalries anymore. We don't have that. He is starting it up again. I love it. And here's the thing I'll say, because you got a lot of people talking about how he's not good against the run. There's a lot more good he did against the run than people actually realized. So you got to keep that in mind. Is he
100%.
perfect against the run? No, but he did a lot more. He set the edge on one of the plays, and there was video circulating on Twitter. I forgot who put it out, where he actually set the edge, and he went right the guy, and he made the running back, cut right back into whoever, Robertson Harris or somebody like that was waiting for the tackle. So those are things that he's doing. And again, like, what they're going to do is they're going to set him up and use him all over the field. They're going to put him on mismatches, and he's going to be better against the run than people realize. And I'm putting it on record because you know what, Craig? What am I not afraid to do? I'm not afraid to put myself out there, right? I'm not afraid to say something, right?
Yep. That's what makes you.
Right? So I may
for
be
the
wrong.
record, I don't think you're alone in thinking that. And the only reason why I even brought up that he got his ass busted, like I'm using stealing.
Oh, yeah, it's a good moment.
Was like, that's good for him, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's good for him. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. And then come back and get stronger next play because he's got all the tools and he's going to get better at setting the edge and playing against the run. And he's going to learn how to, get knocked around because he's not going to win all the matchups. That's what you want. You want that kind of play.
You know who else got knocked on their ass by a chip as well, Craig?
Who's that?
Myles Garrett.
Sure. I'm sure.
There's a bunch of edges that, unless you're Lawrence Taylor, and I don't ever remember Lawrence Taylor getting knocked on his ass, so correct me if I'm wrong, but unless you're Lawrence Taylor, everybody else is getting knocked on their ass at some point by a chip. It happens.
It was a literally textbook chip from the tight end. And then the wherewithal of the tackle to not let him get back up and to put him back into dirt, because that's gonna create more of a desire to be great. It's gonna create more, I gotta be better next play. And that's how guys mature. And it was great.
Yeah. I there's a couple things that I think I'll bring up. And by the way, Tuto, we got to give a shout out to Tuto here. Paisan. Thank you, Tuto. But I think the Giants are holding back a little bit in the preseason.
Don't they all? They all do. I
know. So that's why I say you can't have too highs, can't have too lows. You're seeing someone, especially defensively, not just saying vanilla defenses, but I don't think guys are going, especially starters. Now, Tibbs had some really good plays this weekend, by the way. We got to acknowledge that he did some really good things. But I think they're making sure they don't get hurt while showing some things. So that's the one thing. And again, until the season starts, I'm not concerned about the run defense. Talk to me after week 1.
All right, then let me say this, 2 things, because you just brought up such a great point. Cole,
thank you.
I would love for you to tell me who this is, because it can't be anybody that anybody takes seriously or gives any credence to. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there spewing a lot of stuff. Cole, we may bust some balls here and we may have some fun in the comments, right? But I think we all appreciate and respect each other's football knowledge. I don't know one guy that I respect is talking about how 2 games into the preseason we haven't got any sacks. I mean, like, those folks I don't even know what to do with that.
Cole, it's the guy who blocked you. That's who was saying it.
Wait, how do you know? Wait, did I miss it? Where did he say that?
Yeah, in the comments, he said, "Ask him why he blocked me."
Who?
Is it somebody else other than you and I were talking about the other night, Cole?
It's not one of our guys, right? Can't be.
No, he wouldn't have said content creator.
Oh, yeah.
Cole, just say yes or no. Was it the guy you and I were talking about the other night that blocks people?
I don't know. He's not responding.
Now he's gone silent. We put him on the spot. He went silent.
I did it. But well, here's it. Well, what I was going to say was he's looking for his name. Here's it. I mean, look. Okay. I mean, look, man. All right. So let's break this down on what Sean just said. Carter is going to play. I'm going to go out. You talk about going on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Carter's going to play 70% of his snaps on the outside. He's going to play 20% of his snaps on the inside and down like in a NASCAR, and then maybe 10% of the snaps playing in the middle, right? But here's the thing. Carter's better in space because of his length, his speed, and his power. They're going to want to use him to set the edge and sack the quarterback. They're going to want to use him for mismatches, maybe with a smaller, guard or a weaker tackle. But if anyone's going to lose some snaps, it would be Thibodeau with Carter. However, if they're not running a NASCAR, but Tibbs is definitely feeling that heat. He needs to be able to step up his game. So I think it's going to wind up being good for everybody. I think Tibbs is going to get better because he doesn't want to lose snaps to Carter. Carter's going to want to be defensive rookie of the year. He's probably got incentives in his contract for that. And I think it's good for everybody all the way around. I'm not just going to say it's about sacks.
No, especially in the preseason, for goodness gracious. It does not matter in the preseason when it comes to sacks because, again, with what teams are running, what's going on, it's fine. But you bring up Thibodeau, and I'll say it again. Carter was the best thing that happened to Thibodeau because Carl Banks said it the entire episode. Tibbs is tired of hearing everybody get talked about. He wants to prove that he's worth being talked about.
Yep.
And look what he's done. He did the wrestling, right? He's got new moves. He worked in a spin move. Like he did a swim and a hand slap on one of the moves and got him in the backfield. Like, I think we're going to be surprised by Tibbs this season. I really do. I think that we've talked about it, right? How good healthy competition is. You got Burns, Tibbs, and Carter. They're all going to be pushing each other. It's only going to be better. And as much as we don't like it, I think one of the inside linebackers is going to lose more snaps to Carter than Tibbs will.
I know, Coach Gene.
Oh, that dude. Oh, don't get. Yeah. No, he got into it with me. Yeah, I'll be nice. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
I know who he is. He does what he does. I'm not buying into any of that. Like, I honestly don't. Again, the way the defense is built, in my humble opinion, I don't think. Just because of, again, I'm going to, me, Sean, I've said, I'm a track record guy. I'm a body of work guy.
Right.
So, two things. Okereke gets hurt. We know Okereke the year before could have made the Pro Bowl, had a great first year, right? Was a little bit of a slow starter and then got hurt. McFadden slides over in Okereke's spot, and McFadden has a better spot playing Okereke's spot, right?
Yeah.
So, so for me, and then McFadden has back-to-back 100 tackle seasons. It hasn't been done in 18 years. I really just think they are, for a 2-down, maybe not 3-down, but for 2-down linebackers, they just work really well together, right? Like they work really well together.
They do.
I don't think.
But go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I don't think, because of how good Carter's going to be, I don't need him to scrape through traffic with guys around his feet and him taking on guards. Like, we don't need the best pass rusher on the team to do that. And when I say that is, I'm just talking about the body of work is Okereke, McFadden. That's what they do. 2-down, downhill linebackers, blitz through the A gap, string the plays out, stop the run, because they've been doing it with no defensive tackles. But their job is scraping through traffic, guys at their feet, taking on fullbacks, taking on guards. We don't want that from Carter. We want Carter blowing up tackles and tight ends and sacking
and guards.
And guards, and for pulling guards. We want him to be clean. Use the length, the size, and the speed. The minute you start putting Carter on the inside, I'm just saying, I am very confident in saying is that's how you get guys hurt when they're playing a little bit out of position, and you got guys at your feet and your ankles that you got to scrape through, and you're getting dinged on different guys. He is just better in space. Tibbs is going to have to be able to match the intensity that Carter brings to the table. Yes, he had some good moves, but we know what's the number one knock on Tibbs. He disappears for weeks at a time.
But again, they're going to figure out a way to have Tibbs, Burns, and Carter and Dex on the field at the same time as much as possible. And the reason I say he's going to, now let's remember, Carter played inside for 2 years. He only has 1 year as an edge rusher at Penn State. So he's actually more of an inside linebacker than he's an edge rusher. And the reason, or he's more experienced, let me say it that way.
Yeah,
He's
okay, I
still
was gonna
learning
say
the
because
edge.
he's a better
Yeah.
edge rusher than he was.
Well,
in
he was a
inside
really good
linebacker.
inside linebacker too. I know the missed tackles and all that. Sometimes when you're really fast, you're going to miss tackles. It happens. But what I will say is the reason why I think he's going to be inside sometime, I think they're going to use him to spy on the fast quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. So they're going to have him on the inside in certain situations. Plus, I think he's good in coverage as well. He's smart like that. Yes, they want him to get after quarterback. Absolutely. But I would not be surprised if he is on the inside sometimes. Now, unless they drop Burns back, they could do that because they did that on Saturday. They dropped him back and had him almost like a 4-3 look with Burns back and Carter down. So that's a possibility. But I think they're going to use Carter to spy the quarterback and shut away those running quarterbacks. That's my take.
The wild card in this is that I think I'm going to scroll through because I think Mark might have said it a little bit earlier. I'm trying to scroll back, see if I can find it. The other one is that someone on the inside next to Dex is going to lose snaps because they can also put Carter in a 3.4 point, put his hand in the dirt and let him play that down lineman role. I think Mark might have said it before. I'm looking for it. I can't find it, but basically the interior lineman beside Dex,
he's
Nacho losing snaps, Ledbetter losing snaps, because you still get him to stop the run, potentially blow by a guard, so it's going to be interesting to say the least, but I think Tibbs has the most to lose. Because again, yes, he looked great.
I know you keep going on Tibbs. I'm telling you, they're going to have him on the field. They're going to have those 4 guys on the field. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Nobody's saying that
Tibbs is not going to lose. He won't lose that many. Again, we'll see. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Well, hear me though. Hear me this.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's one or the other. What I'm saying is that the consistency of what Tibbs brings to the table is not there. He can't have one good game, 3 off, one good game and 3 off. In this defense, if Tibbs cannot set the edge and produce, he doesn't have to have sacks, but if he can't, he's terrible. He is atrocious. Downright atrocious at setting the edge. If he can set the edge and put pressure on the quarterback, then he won't lose snaps. And he needs to do it week in and week out. The biggest issue that everyone has with Tibbs is it's not really the people who know football are like, hey, all right, it's not about sacks. It's where does he go? Like he just literally like disappears for 3 weeks at a time. He has like 1.5 tackles, a pressure, nothing. And you're like, dude, look, where you were drafted, we've seen you do in college, you need to be aggressive and authoritative and impose your will week in and week out, because that's what Dex does. And that's what Carter's going to do.
And look at how many years it took Dex to be able to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we expect guys to come in and do it right away. Dex didn't do it right away. Dex didn't do it until year 3, year 4. And he didn't really take off until year 4, year 5.
Yeah, but outside backers.
But
no way, dude. No way.
Yeah.
He tackles, first of all.
Let's see what he does this year. Year 4 is the year where some guys really take off. It's not like he's been bad. Like, he gets such a bad rap. He hasn't been bad. Not at all. I don't care.
But you're still
Listen, I hate when people say, look at who he had the sacks against. Do you know how many defensive ends or edges eat up on bad tackles? That's the lamest excuse. Lamest excuse. Not saying
you're not hearing me. It's not about sacks.
I know.
Has to
he had
show
11 and a half
up
sacks
every week. Yeah, I know that. The people that talk about sacks, I don't listen to people talk about sacks. I'm saying he does need to finish.
That's fine. Year 4. Let's see what he does this year. Let's see what he does this year.
I can't wait 4 years for a guy to show up every week. You got to be there every week.
Listen, we had 3 quarters of a team that didn't show up for 4 quarters, dude. Like, we were ass for the last 4 years.
First round draft picks that got drafted in the first.
Dude, do you know how many guys that were other than Dex, how many guys showed up every single play on this team? Because if that was the case, we would have been bad. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Who's a first round draft pick that hasn't shown up?
What do you mean? Who? Well, Evan Neal, and I defend Evan Neal.
I know, but you're
I'm saying the
that-
team as a whole, dude. We're singling out one guy when the entire team didn't show up. We were ass for back-to-back years.
That doesn't. That's no. But that's
And
no excuse
he
for a
gets
first
more
round
hate
pick.
than he gets more hate than he should. He gets way more hate than
No.
he should. He plays better than people have. They expected him to be Micah Parsons. He's not Micah Parsons.
No, he's an average. He's an average linebacker. He's average.
He's more.
Average.
He's a dude. He's not average. He's not average.
He's.
Listen. I'm putting my foot in the ground. He is not average. He's not been average. The biggest thing that has hurt him is his injuries. That's the biggest gripe that I have with Kayvon Thibodeau is his injuries. And you have guys, listen, you know I respect you. You know I know you have football. But so this is not directed at you. You have guys that say he doesn't set the edge. He absolutely has set the edge. I'll literally watch him set the edge. And people are like, he didn't set the edge in that. He absolutely did. You know what he does?
At it. It's the,
oh my God, he's not the worst at it.
Out of it, all the things
cow.
that he does, it's absolutely it's the worst. It's the worst because he's not physical at the point of attack.
My God. You know, you can still set the edge by holding your lane. That's what people aren't understanding. Again, I'm not directing this at you.
No,
he sets the lane. He has the running back cut in. What he doesn't do, what he does not do, which what we expect him to do is he doesn't make the tackle after he gets the running back to turn back inside. So he absolutely sets the edge. He absolutely does. And there's sometimes where the play calls for that cornerback to come up and he's going inside. You see it. It's designed where he goes inside and then somebody else is supposed to be on the outside and that outside person's not there. So it looks like he's not setting the edge. So it's by design for some of those. But what I need him to do is when he sets the edge and then that running back goes inside, make the tackle. He's waiting for somebody else to make the tackle. That's my issue with him.
We will agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We will agree to disagree. The guy shows up every 3 games. He has at some games, he's got like a tackle and a half. And then he disappears for another 3 games. And by the way, for all people like want to be like, oh, Tibbs is great. Tibbs is. I have a good friend of mine that literally lives in Oregon, told me before the draft that Kayvon Thibodeau is known to disappear for weeks on end. He doesn't have what Carter has, the motor, always on every play, makes a play on the backside, on the front side. We can say what we think. I'm telling you that the reputation has been there.
I'm not denying he takes some plays off, but he doesn't take as many plays off as people think.
There's a difference. In college, he took plays off because he could. In the NFL, he takes plays off because he's not wound that way. His DNA is not motor all the time.
I think we're going to see a different Tibbs this year. His motor has been moving more.
But he has to be. He's got no choice.
Well, that's fine. I don't care that he didn't do it before as long as he does it now. As long as it happens, I don't really care. Like I said, make it happen this year. If he's not making it happen this year, different conversation to be had, and you'll hear a different thing from me. Make it happen.
Yep. Look, Cole's right with me.
Yeah, and Mark's right with me.
Yeah. No, he just said he doesn't think he was average.
No, he says he sets the edge, which is what I said. Doesn't do the extra work and come off and make the tackle. To come off and make the tackle, which is exactly what I said. What he does his job. His job is to make sure nobody gets outside him, which they don't. But he doesn't make the tackle.
Part of his job is to make the tackle because they're all of their
I'm talking about his assignment. His assignment. You know football enough. You know somebody's assignment. Assignment is okay, make the running back turn inside. What we need him to do is now make that tackle when that running back turns inside. He did his assignment of not letting the running back get outside, but now make the tackle. That's what I'm saying. That's where he struggles.
And we can totally agree to disagree. I'm cool with that because we both can agree on the fact that his back, and again,
but not a lot of running backs get outside. That I think maybe we're saying something, and not just you. I think maybe fans are saying something different. There's not a lot of running plays that get outside him. They go inside him. Is that what we're saying? It's not setting, not you. Is that what people are saying by not setting the edge? That running back goes up inside him?
Well, no. If that was the case, then he did his job.
Because there's not many plays that go on the outside. I don't remember too many plays going on the outside. Do you?
Tibbs' issue on the quote quote setting the edges. He comes down inside. He pushes the line down.
Yeah, but that's by design.
It's his design. He's out of position a lot of
Yeah.
times because he pushes down inside. And
I
the
see it
edge-
differently. I see that he's doing that so the other guy can get on the outside. Because a lot of times I'm seeing that, at least when I'm watching. And again, you got to admit, I know you're in the stadium, but the stadium view is sometimes different. You don't see as
sure,
much.
I get it.
Right. Now, again, I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he shouldn't make the tackle. Yes. I'm just saying he sets the edge in the sense that the running back does not get outside him. Now, yes, sometimes, and you know this, the edge will go down inside, take on two blockers, and it's supposed to free up somebody else coming on the outside. That outside person, the cornerback, or whoever, that's where they get screwed up.
I think Bowen's going to change what he does this year because what he was doing,
so.
especially what he's been doing for the last 2 years, is not efficient, right? He likes now from a pass rush move, he's got his best pass rush move is coming across the face of the tackle and coming inside. I'll give him credit here because I'm not killing the guy. I want him to succeed. His best pass move is actually a inside pass rush coming across the face of the tackle. He's really good at. I honestly think because he's very good at that inside move, he tends to lean on the inside move. And when he comes down to quote unquote set the edge, he's too far inside. And no, they're not bouncing outside and going around him, right? But they're running right at that end because they know by watching tape that he's going to be 3 to 4 yards too inside to stop the play. And you watch him, they run right off his backside, not around him, not bouncing it outside.
Right.
They're running in the D gap because they know he's going to push down into the C gap. I know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Instead of him holding his ground, being physical at the D gap, because he's so good at pass rushing across the face of the tackle, he steps down into the C gap. So now he's out of position by maybe 2 yards, 3 yards, and they run right at the D gap, and there's no one there. And we know that Banks ain't coming up to tackle nobody. And those guys are skipping down the sideline or up the seam because he's too sucked.
But he's not doing. See, that's what he's not doing it every time. That's why I think it is by design, because you do see the nickel corner coming the outside, and sometimes they get washed out, and that hurts it. Now, what I want. He relies on somebody else to make the tackle too many times. Like he expects the other person to do their right, which is not a bad thing. You expect somebody to do their assignment, but it's not what I want to see. I want to see him make that tackle and not rely on somebody else to come up and make it, which I think is going to happen this year. Again, he showed some really good moves in the Jets game. On rushing the passer.
The athleticism I love, wholeheartedly think that
he's bigger this year too.
Yeah, everything we want out of him is right there. The talent's there, the speed's there. You just got to get it done. And I think this year, and we'll move on because we're killing this. I think the biggest part is that Carter's going to make him better because if he doesn't, I just find that of anyone, yes, I think Mark said it before. Some of your interior linemen like Nacho are going to lose some snaps. But if he can't do it on a regular, I'm not saying you got to be great every game. But, I mean, just body of work, dude. Go look at the body of work. The body of work is 2 games. He's nowhere to be found. A tackle, half a tackle. If he's consistent and he can have, because honestly, a guy of his talent should have 5 to 6 tackles a game, and he doesn't. So if he can't produce 3 to 5 to 6 tackles a game, he's going to start losing snaps. That's just my opinion. Let's keep moving on to Alexander, was expecting a little bit different camp where I think my philosophy with Bo has been flip-flopped, where I thought Alexander was going to be shot out of a cannon and Bo was going to come on slower. And now Bo's come on super fast and looks like he could start. And Alexander looks like he's got a little bit of more of a learning curve. What's your thought?
Well, I think he's coming back from injury that slowed him down. Because he did. I mean, I watched the Buffalo game. I watched a lot of his snaps. There was a video going around that showed all of his snaps from the Buffalo game, and there was more good. He never got pushed back. He did penetrate sometimes. There was one where in the Buffalo game I'm talking about now, he swung around on like a twist and he slipped. Otherwise, he would have made a play on that. So I never saw him get pushed back. the thing is, I think that injury, it was at his calf or something, the lower leg. And I think that slowed him down. He's also his alignment. He's aligning too far back on the ball. So it's getting him off to a slow start, not a good start. But I think it's still there. I think he's just got to recover from it. But again, he's not playing as bad. And from what I heard too, in the joint practices, he did pretty well. So I think some of these guys are just being careful in the preseason right now, but we are expecting to see better things. Like some of the guys, especially in the defense. There's something about the defense that just seems like they're being cautious because I think they expect big things out of defense. But that's what he's got to get better at. And I want to see him because I don't think he's 100% healthy right now. But he's done more good than people realize. He's not doing enough of it, but I think people are expecting him to be like Dexter Lawrence in the backfield like all the time. But again, if you look at what he's done, not once has he been driven back off the ball. And in that Buffalo game, he got double teamed. Now, whether it's by choice or because the guard had nobody to block or whatever it was, he was double teamed like 5 different times in that game. So it's a little tough to get off a double team as a rookie, right? So there's some good things I'm seeing. There's some bad things I'm seeing. I just want to see him 100% healthy.
By the way, shout out to Grangier, Gino. I didn't acknowledge you guys. Tuto, thanks for stopping in, hanging out. If I missed anybody, I'm scrolling through here. Brad, a couple of you guys popped in here as we go, and I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you guys. All good talk in the chat. And I think Grangier was making fun of my hair. It is a little bit crazy right now, so I did see that. Oh, here it is. Says Joker, you can't reason with King Rush. Look at his hair. He looks like a madman. Funny. You're the man, Grangier. I'm all good. You know what? I'm gonna give you one of these things. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna give you a or I could give you this. Either way, you're right. 100%. The hair is a little bit wild, and there is no reasoning with me. All good there. Give me something, Sean, about the game that surprised you. Give me like a player, like for instance, like Dane Belton's having a really nice camp. Dane Belton's having a really good preseason. Dane Belton is showing he is the third safety on this team, and there's no other way around it. Like everybody else is just going to be a body. He makes plays. He's like Tibbs, maybe a little hot and cold sometimes, but I think he's gotten better every year. And again, I don't know the defense or what they've asked him to do. I know, with McKinney leaving, there was a big hole, and Pinnock did not play great last year. So sometimes I think Belton may have he looked bad and necessarily wasn't all him, but he's definitely having a real nice camp. How about you? Any surprises? Anybody jumping out of you?
Yeah. Well, with Belton, I've been a big fan since they drafted him. He's just got to do it in the games. He hasn't done it in the games. He does it preseason, he does it in practice. But the guy that stood out to me, and I've been banging on the table for the last year for this to happen, Josh Ezeudu played really well. And the reason he played well is they finally put him back to guard, his natural position. Go figure that somebody who plays guard actually did well at the position that they normally play. So that's my guy that really surprised me. He did really, really well. And I'm glad to see it because they should have never moved him to tackle. And he gets undue hate because he's not a tackle. He's a better guard.
And Baba Booey and for Grangier. Interesting thing about is you got some linemen like Stinney and Hudson, and there's 2 Hudsons, Hudson and Stinney. And who am I missing? I'm missing one. Hudson, Stinney.
For what position?
Well, yeah, these guys are all
Forsyth? Or guards you talking about, or you talking about
just linemen in general that are going to make the team. Because you got, like I said, Ezeudu, Stinney, Hudson, and there's another guy, I'm drawing a blank, who are fighting for. Is it him? Okay.
Don Forsyth.
They're all fighting for 2 spots. So, it's going to be interesting. Oh, that was it. Slotman. Thank you, Mark. They're all fighting for 2 spots. Like, you're going to carry 8 linemen, right? You know who your starting 5 are.
Yeah.
And you know that Bo is your swing
tackle.
That's 6. They're fighting for 2 spots. There's 5 guys fighting for 2 spots. So, the whole Azudu thing, and I'm just, these guys got to show, because 3 of them are going home.
Yeah, and listen, Hudson has not played well at tackle in the preseason. He's one of those things. Remember, I said some guys play well in practice, they don't do well in the game, and vice versa. He's that guy that in the 2 preseason games has not looked good at all. As good as he looked in practice, James Hudson has not looked good at tackle in both preseason games, in my opinion.
No, and it's kind of odd. You're right. Maybe practice player or whatever. Or just taking a little bit longer to get used to the system. Maybe he's playing the wrong side that he's not comfortable with. Like, I can't sit here and tell you I've done a ton of work on him. Right. But yeah, he did not look great, where your boy Zudu looked better. And Mark feels they're going to carry 9, which is, I guess, yeah. And then it's Hudson probably don't make the team, and then you're looking at either Stinney, and I think it's good, and Kubis.
Stinney's played well. He's a veteran guy who knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's got championship experience. Hey, can I throw one other surprise at you?
Bring it.
Elijah Chapman playing fullback and doing well at it.
I mean, dude, whatever you got to do to make the team.
Apparently, he's been breaking face masks in practice at fullback.
Yeah.
Give me it. We don't need a fullback. We got Elijah Chapman, who actually played fullback in college as well.
You do when you're like, again, he's not a big dude. So you do what you got to do to make the team. Mark is going with Thomas, Runyon, Schmidt, JVR, Luminar. Yep, that's your starting 5. Bo is your swing. Neal, Hudson. There's 2, Mark. And then Azudu or Stinney. I think Stinney played really well. I think Kubis played really well last year.
Practice squad again, I think.
Yeah. So you could be right. That could be it right there. I don't know which Hudson you're talking about. It doesn't matter, I guess. One Hudson's getting cut.
Probably the starter, James Hudson.
Yeah. One of Hudson's getting cut. One of them may go to the practice squad. I think Stinney I haven't really heard much of Kubis. Like, they're not talking about Kubis very much.
No, he'll probably be practice. Remember, they expanded the practice squad rosters too, so that's going to change some things as well.
Yeah, and you're right. He's talking about James Hudson. Yeah, but 100% Thomas, Runyon, Schmidt, JVR, Luminar, Bo, swing, Neal, the other Hudson, Azudu, or Stinney. I don't know. I like Stinney. I mean, I think he's played pretty well, and again, the depth of the offensive line is better than it's been in a decade. I think Tracy's going to have a good year running behind there. I think so. Yes, you can give me two shout outs on surprises, and Chapman definitely makes some sense that if they feel they need a blocking back, which again, which we're going to transition to something that I find really bizarre. Cause again, depth chart, they have it Theo and Bellinger. Theo, great 30-yard rumble. If you didn't watch the game, Russell Wilson starting. He comes out for one play. Nobody's addressed why he came out for one play. Dart comes in for one play, throws a screen pass to Theo, and Theo rips and rumbles down for 30 yards.
Sidearm hard angle, which is great. So,
Theo still won. And I know you like Manhurts as a blocker, and Manhurts is a really good blocker.
Best on the team.
And then, Bellinger still slotted at 2, but Dulwich has already been cut from one team, Denver, who drafted him.
Right.
That was a real nice catch and run for a touchdown. Even if they cut him, he's going to get picked up right away because he is a terrible blocker. He's more of like a wide receiver and a big body.
Yeah.
So somebody who needs a downfield threat, Dulwich may be the guy. What's your feeling on the room? You think Dulwich is going to make the team or no?
I
You
mean,
know they're going to keep the rookie because he's a rookie. Well,
it's
maybe
really
not.
going to come down to, well, are they going to keep the rookie in the roster, or are they going to try to stash him on the practice squad? Because
Fedoni.
Fedoni, because you're going to have, I think Manhurts is going to make it. I'm convinced of that. And you got Theo, so there's 2. Are they going to carry 3 or 4 tight ends?
Well, they got 5
Yeah.
5 or 6 in camp.
Yeah, someone's like, I think Fedoni is a practice squad guy. Now, again, where he's played and what he's done, I think he'll be a practice squad guy.
Dulwich has got to play special teams. If he can't play special teams, it's going to be tough for him.
It's going to come down to Dulwich and Bellinger.
Yeah.
I think that's where that. Now, Dulwich does have some experience with Russell Wilson, so I don't know if that's going to play a role or not.
Yep.
So does Manhurts. So that's what's there. But yeah, that tight end room is going to be interesting. And listen, we're in a great predicament, dude. We actually are struggling on who we're going to cut and who's going to make the team. Like, that's a good spot to be in, right?
Wild card is still that we still have not seen Scadaboo play, so I'm still excited about that development too.
I wonder if he's going to go on a pup list. By the way, I want to back up to the O-line again real quick if I can.
Sure.
So I've heard some things out there that we haven't been able to run. The O-line has looked good in pass protection, but people are saying that they're not looking good in the run. By the way, in Jets game, do you know how many yards on average per carry that Tracy had against the Jets?
I did not look up his yards per carry, but I think it was 5.
It was over 5 yards a carry.
Yes.
Do you know how many yards per carry that Turbo Miller averaged against the Jets?
3.5.
About that, 3.4, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Yeah. I did.
Would you say that's pretty? Would you say that's pretty good, Craig? When you're averaging over 5 and over 3 yards a carry, is that pretty good? Would you say?
I would say that was really good from a guy who was a first-time running back last year and a guy who was on the practice squad last year are setting the tone for what's to come. So yes, I would say that's pretty dang good.
Right. So what people were looking at is they were looking at the other guys who don't matter and looking at the total running yards, which when you look at how many times they ran, they didn't run it that much. You look at the 2 guys that were the starters. It was Miller, who played a lot, and you had Tyrone Tracy. Tracy had 7 carries and averaged over 5 yards a carry. That's pretty damn good. That's really good. No matter how you slice it. Over 3 yards a carry, 3.5 yards a carry, that's pretty good too. So I don't know why people are out there saying that the O-line is not good. Our running backs haven't been able to run.
Again,
did I miss something?
No,
did I miss something?
They want to find things to complain about. They skim the internet for stuff and they just grab a narrative. They're not actually watching these guys play. They're not watching like the battles. You're not watching like JVR just throwing dudes around. Like, they're not watching. They're just skimming the internet for something that they can pick up.
And they're looking at the wrong stats. That's part of the other thing too. You got to, and again, I can say this because as a running back, I know what is good when you're averaging yards per carry. Don't look at how many did, because if you're not running the ball a lot, you're not going to have a lot of total yards. It's how many you average per carry. That's how you know if the O-line is doing well, in my opinion, which I think my opinion is correct. So,
and by the way, nice shout out for Turbo Miller. There is no reason on God's green earth that this guy don't make the team, the active roster. He's done everything they've asked him to do. So like, you're going to go Tracy, Scadaboo, Turbo Miller. Like, that should be, I don't know what's going to happen with Singletary. Maybe Singletary takes a pay cut. Maybe Singletary gets, him and Hyatt get traded. Who knows? But that was a joke, by the way. I was throwing the Hyatt.
Yeah, I know. Put them together for somebody else.
Yeah.
Put them together for Trey Hendrickson. Bring in another lineman.
That'd be insane.
I would listen. Cincinnati wants a young player. It doesn't have to be a defensive guy. They said, give him Jalen Hyatt, give him somebody else. Absolutely, give him a draft pick.
Throw in Evan Neal. I'm good to go.
All right. Yeah. And yes, Mark, I know we have a bet. Manhurts is making the team. You don't think he is. Manhurts is making the team.
And what's the Is there a prize here? Is there a what's the
Mark's gonna pay for my trip to Barbados if Manhurts makes the team.
No, and then wait, is that the real Mark? Is that it? What happens? So what happens if Mark wins?
I forget what he said.
You best forget.
Because I'm not losing the bet, so it doesn't matter what Mark gets. I'm not losing the bet.
Strong, Mark. You better be coming in strong. If he's getting a free vacation out of this, you better come in strong, Mark.
Yeah, he's taking me to Barbados.
No offense, I'm kind of rooting for Mark because Mark's got a family. He can't be spending his hard-earned money on your ass.
Yeah, well,
just for the record, I'm rooting for Mark.
Mark's the king over there, by the way. He's the king over there.
Easy.
Yeah,
king.
Yeah.
He can be.
He
can be a prince.
Right.
He cannot be the king.
Right. Fair enough.
Definitely all good topics. The Giants are scoring points again, which is fun. Again, reminder that fantasy football, 3 teams. If you're a fantasy player or no one, just ping them, send them our way. We want to wrap this sucker up by the end of the week. We have 3 spots left. Would really love to get to sew this up and get you guys going. Somebody's got to beat Spartan Mike because he's going to be talking about how awesome he is. NYGiantsRush.com. There is, there's articles up there. Our boy Kessler, Brad's son, Spencer, he's going to be writing for us this year. So he cranked out an article yesterday, which we posted. So go to NYGiantsRush.com and check that out. Also, while you're there, register for fantasy football. Stop being a big talker that ball. You talking fantasy and how you win your league and this and that. Just step up and get involved with the Ballers League. And we hope to see you there. We still working on some things over here. We got some things brewing for Thursday. We got some things brewing for Monday. We're working on that. Definitely a good showing against the Jets in Buffalo. So you have some things to be excited about. Thursday night kicks off the NFL on the 4th. So don't forget that the season starts on a Thursday, not on a Sunday.
Yep. Giants Patriots this Thursday. So you get some Casitos, which will give you an idea who guys are trying to make the team. And interesting to see if any starters play on Thursday or not with a short week. But typically it's going to be those guys who are fighting for roster spots. So it should be good.
I was kind of curious if May was going to play because I wanted to see a Debo get more snaps, but it probably isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, how about my guy Flott making a big play against Garrett Wilson?
Yep.
Yep.
Flott's come. We've told the story before. Leonard Marshall, friend of the show, LSU guy on the sidelines, told us many times that he was just as good as was it Stingley, right? On the other side, he just didn't have the size, so he's put a little bit of size on. And, I don't love small corners, but I got to give the guy a ton of cred because he's working and he's gotten better every year. I mean, again, I still think he's a better slot, but he's nowhere in the hemisphere as Drew Phillips. So, I mean, at worst, he's your 4th best corner. So he's come a long way.
Well, he's going to be, do not be surprised if he's CB2 this year, if he takes that rollover. Here's the thing people have to remember is that he was only 20 when he was drafted. So he was very young coming out, like very, very young. So he's coming into his own at his age now. So I like what I'm seeing. So we'll see what happens.
I'm subscribing to your philosophy on this one. If you're not giving up on Jalen Hyatt, then we're not giving up on Banks.
I'm not either. I want to say, dude just got to learn to turn his head around. Like, even guys who are like our 4th-string cornerbacks are turning their heads around, dude, and he just doesn't do it.
I've had nothing. I'm sure you saw it on my timeline. I have had nothing but debates all last week about that. No, it's taught this way, it's taught that way. Like, look, man. Like, okay, I didn't play D1. Technique. I didn't play D1 football, but I'm telling you, in the 90s, they taught. I played corner, I played strong safety, I played slot. They taught us to ride hip and snap your head around, keeping your hand on the hip to keep them within arm's length and snap your head around. Then in the 2000s, in the early 2010s, they taught guys to play through the cross. The cross is this.
Right.
They play through the cross. They cannot see the ball. So it's reactionary every time. You're hoping to knock his arm away or to knock the ball away when he catches it. And if you notice, things do progress and they do evolve. Wide receivers now, I don't have a ball in the office. They're now doing this. They're now taking the ball here, and instead of holding the ball there, they're pulling the ball back, right? They're pulling the ball and they're snapping the ball away from the playing through the cross. So your turnaround, you can't see the ball, you can't see the trajectory of the ball, and you can't see really where the wide receiver is. All you're doing is playing through the cross. These guys are now pulling the ball back away from the receivers. You got to turn your dang head around. So don't tell me, and the big argument was back shoulder fade. Okay, yes, on a back shoulder fade, it's very hard to turn your back around and not lose sight where he is because the ball's already being thrown out of your arm's length. I get it. Overall, 60%, 70% of these DBs can't turn their back around. Banks being the absolute worst at it. He's got no muscle memory on how to look back for the ball. That's it.
Well, the other thing you do is you can avoid PI penalties if you turn back for the ball too. Yeah. And that we saw it in the Jets game. The PI was not called. Guy turned around, made a nice play for the Giants. It was a 4-string. I can't remember his name. But I mean, the other thing is what I was always taught, and what you've heard for the longest time is watch the receiver's eyes. They're going to tell you when the ball's coming. When you see his eyes get bigger or turn around, find the ball, spot the ball. I understand why they're teaching it to an extent. I don't like it, but they got to go back. And that's why I'm hoping, because you've seen it's, from what I can tell, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it's only Banks who's still not turning his head around. It seems like these other guys are turning around and locating the ball. So I think the new DB coaches are teaching it to turn around.
I do know, like I said, like again, I'm not blaming it, but the high school was playing through the cross, and then you get to college, you have a style or a system that you're playing. You're playing through the cross. Everybody catches on playing through the cross, right? And then all of a sudden they realize, like, man, these receivers are so good and so talented that you really can't just rely on knocking the ball away because you can't see the ball, right? So I think it's starting to come back where hand on hip, running in pocket, snap your head around, look at the as you just alluded to, look at the receiver's eyes. The eyes are going to get big. His head's going to go up. You have a hand's length. Your hand is on his hip. You can feel him the whole time. Snap it back, interception, or you knock the ball down. When your back is to the ball, you have no idea where the ball is. Is it high? Is it low? Right. Is it outside? Is it inside? You have no idea. It would cut down on PI, as you just alluded to. There'd be more interceptions. There'd be more passes broken up. And for whatever reason, his high school, going to Maryland, maybe he was playing more like, man and more of like a box safety would be. I know he's a corner. I'm saying like a box safety. Yeah. Playing up tight to the run. Whatever it is, he's not going to survive playing corner in the NFL if he can't turn his head around. And that's a lot of muscle memory, dude. 8 years of not turning your head around. It's not going to be like something you learn overnight.
Right. And he's got the skills. I mean, the one thing I know, there's people out there saying he's sticky. Listen, he's not if he's playing press man coverage, yes, but he's playing off ball, if he's playing more zone, he's not as sticky. He's only sticky if he's in press and he's there. But there's a lot of times, and I took some heat on Twitter at this, he's trailing the receiver a lot of the times. Yeah. A lot of the time. So when I say trailing, I don't mean he's on his back hip. I mean he's a step or two behind. And that's not good because he's slow to react. He struggles in zone. At least from what I'm seeing, he struggles in zone. Press man was his thing, which is why he was drafted. Because what did Wink do? Wink did a lot of press man coverage. That's what he was really good at. And that's why he looked good his rookie year. His second year, not so much because he was playing more off man, more things. I want the kid to succeed because he is fast. You can't teach speed, right? I like speed. You got speed, let him succeed. So that's just the thing he's got to get better at. His instincts have to get better. He doesn't have the instincts. He's just got physical skills. That's where I see that he lacks. But again, he's only in year 3.
Year 3, and this is an opportunity for him. So because he's not going to get many more. Hey,
Let me just clarify something real quick to Mark. Mark, yes, I know receivers are flashing their hands. Yes, I know that they know with the eyes, but there's a difference between them looking for the ball, but their eyes actually getting bigger. So when that ball they're about to catch it, the eyes get bigger. And that's what the good DBs look at. That's what they're taught. So it's not watching their eyes, but it's actually seeing that their eyes get legit bigger. That's what I'm talking about. Just to clarify.
They're tracking the ball. Once the receiver's tracking the ball, they're not looking back at you because they're going to miss the ball. They're tracking the ball and the flight of the ball.
Right.
You got to be able to keep them close enough with an arm and ride the hip and snap your head around. It's not even something that he has any skill doing. And he hasn't even shown he can do it. He is literally just saying, I'm throwing up my hands, playing through the catch zone, hoping to knock the ball away. That's the thing. You're timing the ball landing in his hands, and you can't even see the ball. Then your second move is let him catch the ball, hoping you can pull it out of his hands. It's not good play. It doesn't work well. And I'm hoping they get back more to that style, watching the receiver's eyes, snapping the head around, because playing with your back to the ball. It's funny too, because Jackrabbit, he did it very well. But that was a Jackrabbit thing when the Giants got here. It was at its height where we don't need to turn around. We're too athletic. We'll just knock the ball out of their hands. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We went way too long. We will be here next Monday. I don't know who's running the show because it's, as Tuto said, I'm not even sure how Tuto knows this, but if I scroll back to find Tuto's comment, where is it? Where are you, Tuto? Where is your comment? You know what I'm talking about, buddy. He said something earlier in the show. Nobody said anything about it, but somehow Tuto knows, which is really creepy. Can't find it. He said something, and I was going to pop it up there, and I was like, man.
Oh, I see it. I got it. You want me to pop it up?
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Not sure how Tuto knows that, but
wow.
Either way, there is a birthday coming up, so I am taking off next Monday. So Sean's going to host. We're hoping he'll host with Spartan Mike, and those two can go at it for an hour and a half. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys are always the best. Again, we absolutely suck at registering or subbing in people. If you got Giants fans, just tell them to sub in, man. I've been asking for years. How can I have almost 12,000 followers and nobody subs in? I need you guys to help me get some of these subs. I don't know. Tell me how I can motivate you guys to get me some subs. We need the subs to grow the show. We're getting static that we can't grow the show so we can do bigger and better things because our subs suck. So we need, you guys are great, by the way. You guys are loyal as it comes. There's a good 50 of you that are loyal as can be. Please pass the word. Please tell people to sub in. We need that so we can do cool stuff. I'm literally, Sean, am I not sitting on a promotion that's going to run every Monday right now?
Yes, you are.
Sitting on a really cool thing that I want to bring to you guys. I'm sitting on it, but I'm getting static that my subs are below par. So please, if you're not sub in. If you know a Giant fan, just be like, dude, sub into my boys and watch this show.
It's free to subscribe. So it's all they got to do is click a button.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And
that's all we need. Just tell them to click a button.
You know when we put out new content. It is also, I did turn back on the Pandora and the Spotify, so you can now listen to it there. That's my bad. I didn't post for 3 months. That's totally on me. I put everything up there, so all the new stuff is up there up till 2 weeks ago. I got to put on the last 2 weeks. So again, please do me a favor. We love you guys, but we definitely need you guys to help us out. Sub in. It'll go a long way. Just tell your family members, your friends, your coworkers. Just tell them these guys are badass. They talk great football. Always again, appreciate the comments. We'll see you guys next week. I won't because it's my birthday and I'm out of here, but let Sean ruin your night. Peace. Wait. Oh, I got to end with something. I got to end with something cool. Do I end with the girl? Do I end with, what do I end with? Give me something. What do you want to see? The bullet? I'm going to go.
Girl.
You like the girl in the pool? All right. Girl in the pool it is.